Hello. Today we'll talk a bit about our integration solution overview and we will focus on Salesforce and the Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance integration. As some of you might know, we have pre-built data integration solutions for most of the systems. So in this case, if you're talking about Salesforce and the D365 Finance, we do have those mapping templates available. They are pre-built in the sense that you can use them right away. These mapping templates and this solution itself have been set up and configured based on both systems' capabilities and also based on both systems' requirements. So we have looked at both systems, we looked at the data, how it's being structured, and how can be sent over to the other system. And also we have checked the way they are compatible. For example, in D365 Finance, data is structured in a very particular way. So then we found ways to transfer that information and data into Salesforce so that you have the same information there available on all your, let's say, accounts, contacts, or orders and invoices. Now, speaking of the mapping templates that we have, as you can see here, these are the most common scenarios that we see. So this would be the standard scenarios or situations. So you would have pre-built mapping templates for the following scenarios. So we have accounts in Salesforce, which would translate into customers in Dynamics 365. So it means that if you create new accounts in Salesforce and you want to send them over to your ERP, you can do that without any issues. And you'll have the same information in both systems. The same thing applies to updates. If you have some updates on the Salesforce account, then those updates will be pushed to the ERP system. So in this way, both systems are in sync. Then the same thing applies to contacts. So if you have contacts in one of the systems, you want to have that created also in the other system. So you can do that via the mapping template that we provide to customers. Of course, then we talk about items. So in your ERP, you would have a list of all your items or products and their prices. And you want to have this information in your CRM as well. So those can be pushed over to Salesforce. So you have everything about those products. So the product information plus prices or anything else that's important to you. And then we have opportunities. So you have in Salesforce one opportunity, and as soon as the opportunity hits a specific stage, you want that to trigger a new sales order. That can happen via the mapping templates and the integration, which is configured in Rapidi. So then you don't need to intervene and do anything about that. You have a new sales order created in your ERP, which can then be processed accordingly. And then we have orders. So as soon as you have orders in your ERP, you can also sync them back to Salesforce so that you can have a full overview of the current situation. And then the same thing applies to invoices, credit memos, and payments. So you can also send all this information to Salesforce, even historical data, so that you can see what's the current overview of that specific account. And a very important piece here is that any transaction that you send to Salesforce will be associated with that particular customer. So if in your D365 Finance you have a specific customer called ABC, then that customer will be also transferred to Salesforce. And then as soon as you have it there, all transactions will be associated with it based on what you have in your ERP. So then you will have a full overview of the customer itself and then everything that is related to that customer. Now, we have talked a bit about the mapping templates and what they do, but how does everything look like inside Salesforce? I'll go ahead and share my screen and show you a bit. So this is just one example that we have put together. So we have this company that also exists in D365 Finance. So this company has all this information there, and we have transferred this into Salesforce so we can get the same level of information. So when we talk about accounts, then you can add a lot of data in here. You can have the contact details, you can have billing, shipping address, you can have specific IDs coming from your ERP or any other information that you think it's relevant for that particular customer. Now you have the customer in Salesforce, so everything has been created. And what you'll see next, these are all the transactions that are associated with this customer. So in this case, we will take a look at sales orders. So this customer in D365 Sales has quite a few orders. So let's take a look at the first one. This would be one of them. So we open this one and we see the sales order details. So everything you see here, it's also in your ERP. So you can get to see information such as the sell to address, bill to. You can see tax area codes, dimension codes, and the total amount, which would be net and amount including VAT. So you can add a lot of information here as well, and you can see it in your CRM. And then, of course, associated with the order itself, you will have here the lines. So if we take a look at the lines, you'll see here all the products that are associated with this order, and these products also exist in your ERP. So that's why it's very important to synchronize master data first and then have all the other transactions. And here you can see the product information, you can see quantities, unit prices, and line amounts. So this is what you'll see for all sales orders in here. And then if there's any updates regarding these orders, if the status will change, then you will also see this here. Everything will be reflected in Salesforce. Then we have invoices. So next would be invoices. So let's take a look at one of them. So we have one invoice, one of them, that has been transferred from D365 Finance to Salesforce. So here you would see the same information, sell to address, bill to, and you can also sync any other data. And then you have the total amount, the amount including VAT, and of course you have the total amount here. Now, I think this is the standard information that's usually being transferred, but of course, if you have a very particular scenario, you can send a lot of information into Salesforce. And then next, we have the invoice lines, which are very important because then these are the products that are associated with this invoice. So here you'd see all the items, their descriptions, and unit price, amount, and of course, quantities. So everything you have in D365 Finance, you'll also see it here. So it will mirror everything that you have in your ERP. Now, as you can see here, this is also connected to ledger entry. So we have also a payment which has been registered for this invoice. So as you can see, we open the payment here, and we can see the amount, the invoice that's associated with it, and of course a bit of information about this payment. So this is something that you can do for any customer, and of course you can sync any other information for a particular account. So what you see here, the sales orders, the ledger entries, and the sales history, then these are custom objects which have been built by Rapidi. So they just need to be uploaded into your Salesforce org, and automatically you will get access to the objects with all the rules and custom fields that you need for this particular integration. So it's very easy to use everything and implement this type of setup. And of course, under sales history, apart from invoices, you would also see credit notes if that's the case. If there's any credit note that has been issued, you'll also see it here, listed here. And then, of course, you can also load historical data. If you want to go back to a specific year, you can definitely do that. Load all the information here by the integration, and then you'll have a full overview of that particular account. So that would be more or less about the Salesforce data. And of course, if you have any questions, if you need any help, you can definitely reach out to us. You can visit our website or just contact us via our form, which is also on the website. And apart from that, you can check our solution overviews. We have a lot of case stories and fact sheets, and of course, our documentation that's available to all customers. Thank you for watching. And then if you have any questions, need any help with anything, feel free to reach out. We will be more than happy to help. Thank you.